With your first news at 5 Sports, here's Jeff Roberts.
A win over Carolina 2 weeks ago put a pause on potential panic for Vikings fans. The following week was against the reigning champs, so there was a strong possibility of beginning the year 0-5. Instead, they're 1-4 and went into Chicago this afternoon. Winner gets their second win of the year and steps out of the NFC North's basement. The first 12 points for both sides in this one were by way of the field goal. Greg Joseph started it 53 yards out. He gets another one after the Bears respond. This one's from 51 yards. 3 minutes into the half, it was tied at 6. After a Vikings turnover, Bears inside the Minnesota 30, but Chicago gives it right back. Fields throws, falls into the waiting arms of Jordan Hicks. Minnesota would have to showcase the 2-minute drill after this, and they would do it to perfection. 15 seconds until the half. Cousins caps off an 8-play, 77-yard drive with a Jordan Addison connection. It was 12-6 at the break. In the second half, it was one play that made the difference. Tyson Bagent in the quarterback after Fields got hurt. He fumbles the football, eventually picked up by Jordan Hicks. A big day for him on defense. 19-6, Minnesota led it, and they'd hang on to win by 6. The Vikings get their second win of the year and hop a game ahead of the Bears in the North. Minnesota plays in prime time next week on Monday night, and they'll need that extra day to prepare. They go to San Francisco. A look around the league's early games. Ravens win in London over Tennessee. Bengals win their second straight. Miami's offense is historically good, and they showcase it again. Browns shock the 49ers, their first loss of the year. Commanders win in Atlanta, and the Jags handle the Colts. If you're in your first 2 years at either North Dakota State or North Dakota, yesterday was the first time in your life that the Fighting Hawks beat the Bison. It wasn't even a nail-biter. UND controlled the game from the opening kick. There was plenty of history made at the Alaris Center yesterday, the largest piece being that it's North Dakota's first win over NDSU in the program's Division I era. On the opposite sideline, it was a historic loss for the Bison. 49 points is the most they've given up in a single game as an FCS team. It was a game that meant more than just the 60 minutes on turf. An emotional Bubba Schweiger explained after the win.
That's what this game is about for the people that came before, and yeah, it's about the current guys too, but it means so much to our university. And I know as I travel across the state, I have a lot of, North Dakota State graduates that are friends of mine, and they wanted to see the game too. So it's just, being in this league is really awesome for us because I think it really challenges us, and it's the right spot for us. So,
this team might have won this game, but it wasn't just us. It was everyone who played before us, everyone who came to the games, everyone who supported. It was for the University of North Dakota, for the town of Grand Forks. It was for everybody, and it means everything. And we know that the amount of times when I first committed here, people are like, oh, you go North Dakota State? I'm like, no, University of North Dakota, the flagship. So we got to remind them sometimes.
Things are looking good for the Hawks right now. That was their 23rd win at home in the past 25 tries. Have you noticed the colors changing on your trees? It means that we're approaching the high school football postseason. The Class A and 9-man regular seasons ended this past Friday, and 6 days from now begins the first of 3 rounds that lead up to the Dakota Bowl. Here's a look at the notable games involving teams from our area. Bowman County goes to Velva. Bishop Ryan comes to Shiloh. Stanley is at Trinity. Killdeer heads up to DLB. And Harvey Wells County is at Kindred. In the 9-man bracket, Lytton goes up to West Hope NG. Central McLean is at Grant County Flasher. MLS comes to South Border. Hettinger County is in Alexander, and Wyndmere Lidgerwood heads up to North Prairie. The field gets whittled down to 8 teams after this Saturday. First at 5 wraps up after the break.
All right, time now for our look at our play of the day. We go to the NFL. Saints and Texans. Derek Carr throws it deep to Rashid Shaheed, who makes a great catch over the defender. And check out the replay now. Steven Nelson should have picked it off, but Shaheed takes it off now for a big play and a big game for our play of the day.
Spotted at the 14 of the Saints. Going deep, underthrown, and a battle for it, but pulled away by Rashid Shaheed. Steven Nelson was there. Looked like he was going to pick it.
Watch Shahid. Watch him gather his balance right here. Look how low he is, and then just perfectly throws himself back toward the ball.
This sports update is sponsored by Gem City Motors in Sydney. Great selection, great service. Find out more at gemcitymotors.com.